media companies are real interesting proxies for us of companies that have had very similar headwinds, were maybe a generation or two ahead of us, and they've developed strategies to help build and monetize an owned audience. And I think the best solution, the best way to picture the solution here is the way they perceive the marketing funnel. For them, there's 3 stages in the marketing funnel: rented, owned, and monetized. And I think that's a helpful construct for us, because I'm not suggesting like stop posting on LinkedIn or Twitter or anything. It's actually quite the opposite. That's where our audience is, and we need to be there too. But we need to reframe what we're trying to accomplish on these rented channels. Much like SEO and others, we're trying to drive people into an owned relationship. And again, in the consumer media space, that's called a subscription. We don't call it subscriptions in B2B. We call it like sign up for a newsletter or an opt-in to our marketable database, these like really inhuman kind of, things. But as we get folks to subscribe, there's an exchange of value happening that is rooted in relational context, not rooted in commercial context, at least initially. And so you can imagine, like, just by doing that, you're going from something like, at least in the B2B SaaS space, a 1 to 1.5% conversion rate on your website to about a 10% conversion rate. So you can 10x the amount of people that are wanting to hear from you when you're not trying to explicitly sell them on the first date, basically, right? So where consumer media picks up from there is selling premium content to their subscriber base. So they might have like free content and then a premium content. They might do events. They might have courses. They might have all of these other things, which, by the way, we should do under the leadership of, under the branch of thought leadership and evangelism. But for most companies, we have a product that we're selling. And so important to clarify, we're not trying to become media companies. We're trying to become like them and learn from them and some of the tactics that they've developed. So by then looking for signal within our own audience, we can kind of get a sense of who's ready to buy or who wants to learn more about innovation on the technology side of this problem set. And then by doing so, the good news is those leads have a higher propensity to buy, bigger deal sizes, and actually the lifetime value is much better, because they're, again, that relationship or that initial relationship started in an exchange of value and not a transaction. So I actually think this is actually the best way to sustainably grow a business moving forward, but it requires a bit of a shift.